Most people try to muscle their way through goals using motivation. That's why January looks great, but by March, everything's dead. If you want 2026 to look different, you need a system that runs even on your worst days. In this video, I'm going to give you the 5-part evidence-based framework to hit goals that I use while working, going to school, and making content full-time. I'm Evan, and I study how top performers use AI and systems to achieve their goals. Let's focus on the premise, why exactly your goals fail every single time. Number 1, they live in your head, not a system. Number 2, there's no calendar to fall back on. And number 3, feedback relies on your own willpower. We're going to fix all of these different failures with one simple stack. Plan, translate, schedule, execute, and review. Each layer reduces friction and eliminates guesswork, so you know that this system is going to function on your worst days. Phase 1 is decide the target and make it visible. If you can't literally see your goals, you're never going to achieve them. So I want you to grab your phone or a piece of paper and pick out 3 goals that you want to accomplish in the first quarter of 2026. Now, these aren't dreams, these are measurable targets. Things like uploading 8 YouTube videos, hitting 225 pounds on bench. Whatever your goals may look like, make sure they're measurable. Now, underneath each goal, you're going to write out 2 separate lines. The first line is going to be why this matters, and the second line is going to be what you're tracking to make sure you're actually progressing. Now, this looks basic, but it isn't. Writing the goal out has been shown to increase the likelihood that you're going to actually accomplish it. Seeing it weekly helps train your brain to identify patterns or things that can help you achieve it faster, and what you need to cut out, the noise behind that's slowing you down. So here are the micro actions I want you to do right now. First, write down those 3 goals you have for quarter 1. Then define your weekly evidence of what success is going to look like based on your input, and then pin this to the top of your Apple Notes or onto your wall, somewhere that you're going to look at every single day. Now let's move on to phase number 2. Building the system, not the plan. Most people stop at a plan, but plans die when they contact reality. Systems survive though, because they utilize gateways, defaults, and fallback options. So I've developed a quick design checklist to make sure your system is foolproof even when things start to fall apart. So first, we're going to identify the trigger. When does this work naturally happen? So this could be a specific day, time, or following a different event. Then identify the environment that's needed. So for example, for me to record a YouTube video, I need my light, I need my reflector, I need my background setup before I can actually press record. From there, identify the minimal viable action. So this is the smallest action you could complete to move you forward towards this goal. Next, we're moving on to the fallback. What happens on a bad day when you can't get this task fully completed? What do you fall back on? And then last is going to be your identity line. How does this define you? So for example, if I'm constantly putting out videos, that doesn't just make me a person who makes videos, it makes me a YouTuber. So figure out how your actions are defining the identity you're becoming. Let's look at a quick example with a content goal. So the trigger could be on Sundays, I work on outlining the next video from 10 to 11 a.m. To work on a script, my environment's going to need a document open and my desk clear so I can be focused. Now the minimal viable action, let's say if I'm having a rough day, is going to be writing out the hook and scripting out one section of bullet points. And then last, my identity can be someone who perseveres no matter what. So every single week, I'm going to be releasing a video. Phase 3 is going to be where we translate these goals into work you can actually see. Now here's where we're going to pull AI into the system to compress all the information and reduce confusion. The point here isn't more knowledge, it's increased clarity so we have fewer wasted reps or energy. So here's some different prompts I want you to take full advantage of. They're going to help you supercharge your ChatGPT or whatever AI you're using to become a better assistant for you. So first, you're going to build out a quarter roadmap coach. So you're going to provide the 3 different goals that you planned out for the quarter, and then you're going to ask the AI to identify any roadblocks, any risks, and what your monthly milestones should look like. Then you can ask for any dependencies or prerequisites you need to complete before you can succeed on this goal. And then you could also throw in a minimal viable action you could take every single day. Then you can turn ChatGPT into your own drill designer. Ask it to turn each weekly deliverable into a 5-step checklist with time estimates. Highlight the step that causes the most friction and star whatever step is the most crucial. And then last is a focus sprint. Turn these messy notes into a task brief. Define goals, constraints, and a 5-step plan to get this done as quickly as possible. Now what this actually does is reduces the amount of time you have to spend thinking and preparing, and allows you to apply that time to actually doing. Your system is going to have friction maps, tiny starter tasks, and a clear definitive on what done is going to look like. Every time you start to stall, run the focus sprint prompt and you're immediately going to get back up into running mode. Phase 4 is put it on a calendar or it's fake. If it's not time blocked, it's a wish. So I want you to take all the goals you developed in phase 3 and time block them onto your calendar. Use the same block names for every week so your brain stops negotiating on what it wants to get done and it just starts actually getting stuff done. So my default shells look like this. I have deep work for 90 minutes, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays in the mornings. I have my ship slot, which is 2 hours on Wednesdays, where I focus all of my energy on building YouTube videos or building out something that I'm going to be sending out. I have my admin slot, which is just 30 minutes I take every day to journal, write out emails, just get all the administrative tasks done. And then last, I have my recovery slot, which is usually an hour or 2 of movement and exercise because I found that's what helps me stay focused and working hard the rest of my day. Now, you don't need 5 hours every single day of deep work. You just need 90 minutes that are absolutely protected. Nothing's gonna get in the way. Those 90 minutes are your time to lock in and focus. Now, if your schedule starts to move around, your calendar should shift automatically. This is where a few different tools are going to help. These are optional tools, so feel free to use them or not. I'm not sponsored by these tools. First is Reclaim/Calendar AI. This is going to sync your tasks with specific durations and adjust based on what you're actually getting done. So let's say you didn't have enough time inside of your deep work block on Monday to complete everything you needed. Reclaim AI is going to take the things you didn't complete there and assign them to different deep work blocks. This will allow you to move tasks around without actually having to move it yourself. Then there's Raycast AI. This allows you to bind specific actions to different strokes on your keyboard. So in clicking one button, you can pull up your calendar and your document at the same time. Now, here's the only rule you need to follow with calendars. Your calendar must show where the next block of progress is going to come from. If a block disappears, it must reappear automatically or you're going to lose out on some progress for the week. Okay, phase number 5 is our final phase. Feedback that doesn't rely on willpower. Most people only review what they've done when they're feeling extra motivated or super guilty. Real systems are going to force you to review automatically no matter what. So at the end of each week, run this quick 15-minute loop to review everything. Pull up your 3 goals for the quarter and ask these 3 questions. 1, what moved? 2, what stalled? 3, what's the fix for the friction? And then copy paste this prompt into an AI. Analyze my week. Here's what I shipped, here's what stalled, and here's my calendar. Identify one bottleneck per goal, and then provide a quick fix I can use to reduce friction. Once you get that back, immediately schedule those 3 blocks of work with their new fixes. Don't wait until Monday, get it done right there on Friday. Just immediately lock it in so you don't have to trust that tired version of yourself in the morning. Now, I know you're asking, what about motivation? What about those days you just kind of don't feel like doing it? Well, the beauty of this system is that I don't optimize for motivation. I optimize for repeatability. Everything in this entire system will run automatically as long as you put in the tiniest bit of effort. Even if you show up as 50% of your true self any given day, you're still going to be able to get consistent results using this system. Whether you're underslept, busy, annoyed, no matter what, you're still going to be able to achieve progress. Triggers lock in the when, environments lock in the where, and minimal viable action removes any friction from getting the task done. All you have to do is show up. The weekly feedback is going to keep you adapting, and all together, that's a system. That's what it truly looks like. So here's your 10-minute install I want you to do right now to take away everything I taught you in this video. Number 1, write 3 quarter 1 goals with specific evidence metrics of success. 2, run the quarter roadmap and the focus sprint prompts. Schedule out your deep work A, your ship slot, and your recovery for the next week. And lastly, paste the Friday review prompt as a pin note inside of your phone or on paper, and then set a reminder to get to it every single Friday. Do this, and January won't just be a sugar high of New Year excitement. It's going to be a runway setting you up. So by the time spring comes, half your goals are already achieved. Your system will be smarter than it is today because it's running off your feedback, not off how you're feeling. If you enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Go check out my next video. I'm sure it's going to help you even more.